Okay, again, I'm going to start with a blank PowerPoint. Again, this is version 2013, and I just said File, New, and I started with a blank presentation like that. Okay? And so you'll see that there is already some information, even though we chose blank presentation. And the reason why there's already some stuff on there is that there is a master. There's a default master. So right now, if you look here, you have the slides that are going to be over here. This is where you work and build your presentation. It, just like all the other Microsoft products, you have the ribbon that goes across the top. And of course, you have all the different pieces, and we're going to learn all the different things you can do in PowerPoint. All those things up there. In addition, again, you have one slide right here with no title. If I click on it, you'll see it's this one. These two kind of relate to each other. To make a new slide, you'll notice in the home button there is one that says new slide. If I click on there and say new slide, it'll come up and say nothing. Nothing. Oh, it's doing something. Why is it saying help? I didn't want help. Didn't I say new slide? Oh, there you go. New slide, if I click on there, it gives you a pop-up menu. You'll notice you could say a title slide, slide and content, section header, to content, comparison, title only, blank, content with caption, picture with caption. Whoosh, what are all these? So they're kind of like default settings, and each one of these is kind of being driven by the master, and of course we don't have anything in our master right now, so nothing's being driven. It's kind of just plain white. Now, you know, they kind of give you like a pre-made layout, and the reason why they have that, again, this is a title and content is the most common, where it gives you a title at the top, and then you can choose what kind of content you want. And then section header is kind of like a title, and then of course the other ones you can see them. Another thing that I often do is if I like a layout that I'm using that has the certain things that I want on the screen and I just need to retype them and change them, is I'll duplicate one. So if you have a slide that's already cool that you want to, you know, just duplicate, you can duplicate it and then just change the content. Okay, let's make the master. Okay, so we want a background color, we want some text that has some color and so on. So to change the master is going to be under, let me think, where is it at? Under insert, no, design. I got to remember where's the master, hold on. It'll come to me. Master, I thought it was under view. It is under view. Master slide. So go where it says view. And there should be one that says master slide under view. And click on that. Master slide. And here it is. This is the master slide. Now here's a problem with this program that I have found. I don't know if it's a bug or not. When you start on the master slide, it doesn't start with the main template. Like you would think, hey, then I can add this. It kind of starts with this title slide, and this is not what I want. I want to be able to change the background throughout the whole thing. So you actually have to scroll up a little bit. If you look over here on the left side here, and you need to scroll up a little bit, and you'll notice, boom, this is the main master. I don't know why it starts with this. I don't know why. And just changing this doesn't change all the slides. Just changing this doesn't change all the slides. But if you change this one, where it says number 1 here, if you change this, it'll change all the slides. So I don't know why it defaults to this when you go to master. I don't know. But the key that I have found is just to scroll up a little bit and then click on this, and now I can change it. So what are some of the things I can do? Of course, we can change the color. We can change the text color and so on. Notice down here, remember we talked about footer and how your footer needs to have, you're going to have slide number. You're going to have footer with your copyright, and you're going to have a date. So you're going to want to leave these things in there. We'll learn how to make sure that they're on each slide. First of all, let's change our color. Now there's certain things, since we started with a blank one, you know, this is kind of blank, you can jump real quick over here to where it says theme, and you can actually choose one of these themes right here, and you'll notice it'll start changing the background there if you roll your mouse over. And so you can, even though we did choose blank, there is some default themes. Some are uglier than others. Like that one's pretty ugly. This one's pretty ugly. Or you could just start with some colors, like this one right here is a kind of a default. Or this one's not too bad, I think. Wisp? Wisp is not bad. What do you think, Wisp? Do you like the Wisp? I don't know. Click on one. Let's choose one. How about Wisp? I chose the one that says Wisp. Again, it starts doing that. Notice when you choose the theme here in the default one, it goes to all of them over here. These are kind of default ones, okay? What are these ones over here? These are the ones that you saw when you chose new slide, and I went through them. Remember title slide, content and title, remember seeing that? What is driving that is these ones over here, right? Title slide, content with a thing, and then you can customize these. Again, though, if you want something that's going to be on all of them, you do it here. Okay, I didn't like this. I don't want this. It's ugly. I'm going to undo. How do I undo? You'll notice you got the little blue arrow in the upper corner. If I click the undo, boom, it goes back to default. Okay, our topic today is going to be on the oceans. I like doing oceans for our first PowerPoint presentation. So we're going to make our own colors and effects. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is give ourselves a background style. So I undid that default thing, whatever the theme was. I'm going to make my own. If you go over here where it says background style, you can choose a background style here, some default ones, or you can go down here where it says background format. It brings up the sidebar. Again, where was I at? I was under here, this one, the one that says background style right here. And I went down to the very little paint bucket right here. It shows up this thing. So over here, just like we did when we were making, remember all the great things we did to our bar chart? Right, by adding pictures, gradients, patterns. I'm going to make myself a nice gradient for my background. To make a nice gradient, I'm going to click on gradient right here. You get a nice blue background by default. If you want to adjust that, you can come down here and move your colors around. You can see how you can move them around. I chose gradient. You can adjust your colors. If you click, you can change the colors if you want. So if you want a little bit darker blue, there we go. That's a little bit better. I'm going to kind of put it towards the bottom like that. There we go. That's maybe a little too dark. Maybe a little bit. That's a little too light. Ooh, that's a little too dark. You can do more colors and make your own color. There we go. Ah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so give yourself your own background. I know I chose a theme first, but we're going to go with our own background there. Now, wouldn't it be great if I could add myself a logo, since we are, let's say that you are working at a company and you're making a presentation. Wouldn't it be great to include the company logo in the presentation? So how do I add a graphic on every slide? Well, you go and find a graphic. We're going to do it on Ocean, so I'm going to go and download a graphic to put on here. To put a graphic on, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Online Picture. So I'm going to go to Insert Online Picture right here. Insert Online Picture. And since we're doing the oceans, I'm going to put a whale. How about my logo's a whale? So whale or something. I don't know. Find something. Now, when you're looking for a graphic, of course, certain graphics have transparent backgrounds. Like, let's say if I choose this whale right here, if it's a JPEG, that white is going to show up and it's going to look kind of crappy. So what you're going to look for is you really want to look for a PNG. PNG files have transparent areas to them, so that when you put it over top of something, it has, odd shape and it's just not square. So I don't know, can you type in PNG? Maybe you can type in PNG, or what's this say, type? No, that doesn't. You can, how about if we put in PNG? Can we?
Yeah, PNG lets you.
Okay, so maybe put in whale PNG, and maybe you'll find one that has a transparent background. Oh, this one's kind of cute. I like this one. I'm going to try that one. Oh, there he is. See, it does have a transparent. There he is. I'm going to put him in the upper corner. So once you put a graphic on there, you can put it where you want. Notice if you put it in that top box, it goes on all the slides. All the slides. So go find yourself a graphic. Type in something .png, and you can change the size if you want, if it's too big. Get yourself, I don't know, whale. If you don't like the whale facing that way, you can alter. I can rotate it by putting my cursor along the edge and watch. Oh, there he goes. He's going to face that way. Did you see me So scale him around if you want, because I don't want him looking off the screen. I want him looking at my content. So you can kind of rotate them around if you want. Did you see how I did that? There's like little dots on the side. See how my arrow is like that? You can go. Woo. It's like it's like on the side. Do you see that? Here, he goes around that way. Goes around that way. You got to get the cursor looking like this. See how the cursor looks like that? Did you get it? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's okay. Okay, you got a logo? We'll call this a logo. I don't know if it's a whale, but it could be a logo.
It looked a little jumping out on mine.
Oh, there you go. Okay, let's talk about colors and our font. Right now, again, if you remember the joke video from the beginning, boring font, you don't want to look boring, right? So you can actually master. Now here's a problem with fonts, though. Of course, if you do a presentation on one computer and use crazy fonts, and you go to another computer that doesn't have this crazy font, it's not going to show up. So there's a couple ways around that. We'll talk about making PDF. You can make your presentation as a PDF. The problem with making a PDF, though, of course, is transitions won't come. So there's some downfalls of that. But let's just assume that we're working on a computer that I can use over and over again. So I'm going to choose my master title here. So I'm going to highlight the text up here where it says click to edit master title. And if you go to the home button, this is where your font options are right here, just like in Excel and all of those. This is where you can change your font. I don't know what ocean kind of font would be. Do we have ocean font? I kind of like the handwriting, but it's not bold enough. Then size is here. Color is here. If you want to adjust it even further, you have some options for your text, I believe, under to make special effects in here is going to be underneath the word art. They do have word art here somewhere. I have to think about where it's at. Where's word art? Insert?
Yeah, insert word art.
Oh, word art here if you want to do special effects for your text. I know on the final exam there is a question about that. Oops. Oh, look at that. It added a new one, didn't it? Oh, look what a mess that is. Okay, let's not do that. How about that? I think I should have clicked on this first. Click on the edge of it and then go to word art. Here we go. So click on the whole thing. I had the text selected. That was my problem. Ooh, there we go. Glowy, glowy. Ooh, look at that one. Glowy, glow. Ooh, look at that one. Boy, that's beautiful. Okay, so I don't know. I clicked on the entire box and then went into the word art effects. There is a question on the final exam about how to add effects, and you're going to use word art is the right answer for that one. Word art, and I know the new version they don't have word art. Maybe I should just remove that from the test. I'm sorry, but the new version of PowerPoint doesn't have word art or something like that.
They call it something else, or?
They call it something else, I think. Yeah, and so I get a lot of emails from students saying, "Hey, there's no word art in my PowerPoint." Microsoft changed it. I don't know. So we might have to remove that one. Okay, let's continue. Again, you can also change your font down here as well. This is the main font for a bulleted point, so you can see down here. And you can adjust these as well by going under Home, and you can change the font here again. And then size if you want, or color, and so on. So again, you can do that. Down here, you could change the color of your footer if you would like. You can click on there and change it. I'm going to leave the default. But if you have like a dark background, you can actually select them. Maybe we'll make it bold. I'm going to select all three of these down here by holding the Shift key down. All three boxes. You don't put your data in here. You don't put it in here yet. You don't put your name in here and your thing. This is just for formatting the color. This is just for formatting. So again, I select these boxes along the bottom here, and I'm going to go to where it says you can change the size if you want. If you want to make it a little bigger down there, you can change the color if you would like. I'm going to make mine dark black so they show up a little better, and so on. So again, I used the shift key and I selected all 3 boxes along the bottom. Don't put your data in here. You don't put it in here. It's just for formatting in this window. We will put the footer data in a little bit in a different area. Everybody cool? Looks like a nice master. What do you think? Ready to move on? Once you're done with the master, under view again, where were we? Master slide, we're already here. I thought there was one that says close master. Is there a close master? Oh, here it is, master right here. See where it says master up here in the right corner over here? When you're done with the master over here in the left corner right here, you can then go to where it says close master right here and go back. And now we're ready to start building our slides. Okay, so close the master and we'll start it. Of course, our title slide is going to be our title of our presentation. So our presentation is going to be the oceans of the world. I'm going to call mine Oceans of the World. And then, of course, it's going to be by me. So I'm going to put my name in by like that. So again, go to close the master and go and make yourself a nice title slide. You can do any topic. You don't have to do oceans. I just start. I needed a topic that we can find pictures and things like that. You can do it on, whatever you want. Okay, so to make a content slide, so this is like our title slide. It's usually a slide that sits on the screen waiting for the presentation to begin. To make a second slide, I'm going to click down here so that nothing's selected right here. Then I'm going to go underneath the new slide option. It's right up here. It's towards the top next to the home button there. It looks like a little star and a little thing right here. And to make a new slide, I'm going to hold down the mouse right there, and I'm going to go to one that says title and content. Title and content. Title and content. If I click on that, of course, it brings over the information. My whale is still there. And so I'm going to start by talking about the Pacific Ocean. So we can type in I'm going to start by talking about the Pacific Ocean. Now, of course, text is not very good. Text is hard to deal with when I'm in PowerPoint or in a presentation. Images are so much better. So to get images into our PowerPoint presentation, you'll notice you have an option down here for all the different things you can insert in your slide. And you're not limited to this. You can actually insert other things, but they have, when you choose the title and content option, they have these options where you got the table, you got a chart. But again, I don't like doing a chart in PowerPoint. I like to do it in Excel. But you can. I'll show you how to do that. Then you have a smart graphic. A smart graphic is kind of like, do you remember when he was putting the circles, the squares, and the triangles on the screen for the joke that he was doing? That's kind of a smart object, okay? And then you could do, of course, pictures, online pictures, and then insert video, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a picture of the Pacific Ocean. I'm going to put it on there by clicking the online pictures right here. And we're going to go to, it goes online. And it's searching Bing. And let's type in Pacific. And it should search. And of course, if you don't like all of these, you can go to And notice this is Creative Commons only. They're trying to give you pictures that allows you to put it in the presentation. We'll talk a little bit about copyright and how to copyright something and making sure that you use copyright-free images. Not today, but we will talk next class, the class after. So let's find a nice, fabulous picture of the Pacific Ocean. They all look fabulous, don't they? Ooh, look at this one with big waves. And look at the size as you're going over them. You can see some are larger than others, some are bigger than others. And what I mean by that is dimension-wise, right? If you look, this one is 1,944 by 1,296. It's a big image. If you choose one that's really small, like at 300 by 200, or this one even 640 by 480, that's kind of ugly and small. And what I mean by that is it's going to be pixelated and kind of blurry probably in your presentation. So think about size when you're trying to find a picture. It's better to probably choose a bigger one than a smaller one. The downfall, of course, is that the bigger one's going to take up more space in your presentation. So then what you can do is recompress it inside of PowerPoint. We'll learn how to do that. If your presentation's too big, how do you recompress the picture so that they're smaller? There's a way to do that in PowerPoint as well. I really like this wave one here, but the sunset one right here, walking on the beach. This is, there we go. I'm going to click on that one. Notice how it's not in quite the same dimensions, so it's a little bit smaller, and I can move it over if I want to line it up maybe. I can make it bigger if I want. I can make it a little bigger if I want. What if, I made it bigger and it's not even fitting on my screen? Look at that. What you can do is you can crop. To crop your image after I selected it, it's in the screen, I moved it around, I scaled it a little bit. If you want to crop, you'll notice there's a crop option up here in the upper corner right here. And there is a crop tool right here. It's called the crop tool. And if you choose it, you can drag your box so that your image is cropped to a specific dimension. Oh, doesn't that look a little better? It's a little wider. So again, it was this option over here, and I chose crop right here, and once you choose crop, it'll then put these little black boxes around the outside, and you can scale it and move your window around. If I click inside there, I should be able to move it around now inside that window. Did you see how to do that? Do you want me to do that again? Again, crop is this option right here. Once you have a picture selected, there should be a crop option here. If you go to crop, it gives you these little black lines. You see them? And you can scale it smaller or bigger, and then you can also move it around in that kind of window. It's like a mask. It's like a window looking to a box. And so your pictures might not be the right dimensions that you want, but you can go and crop them so that they look a little, I guess, better. Is that the word, better? And when you're done cropping, you just click the tool and it'll do that. This is much nicer picture than it was before. What do you guys think? Got a nice image? Uh-oh. What are we missing on our slide? Our footer, right? We don't have our footer. We don't have slide number. And remember how in your MLA paper I did not want the page number and last name at the top of your paper, right? So exactly like we did in the MLA, the PowerPoint's the same way. You're going to say don't have the footer information on the first slide, start on the second slide. Do you remember that option? Right? Okay, so we got the same one here. I don't want to see, remember the first slide with the title? We don't need to see that, but on the second slide we want to see it. So let's go and do that right now. Again, we're going to put the footer in. You don't put the footer in the master. You format the footer with color and stuff. But here in this window is where I usually start with the second slide. Do you remember when we did the MLA format and I started the header information on the second page? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the same idea. I make the second slide, then I put the footer in so that I check the box so it's not on the first page. It's kind of better to do that, I found out. So let's put the footer information in here. To put the footer information in this window, I'm going to go underneath Insert. Don't have anything selected. One of the things, sometimes PowerPoint, if you have the picture selected, it'd see how it's back in this format here and stuff like that. So, when you're done using something, deselect just by clicking outside, and it kind of goes back to like default settings. Okay, so again, to change the footer, I'm going to go underneath Insert, and you'll notice there's a header and footer option over here. Header and footer under Insert, header and footer. If you click on the header and footer right here, it'll then give you the options. We're going to say date, slide number, and then footer, all of them. And then of course, the footer, we want to put the copyright symbol in there. It's going to be 0169. Using the number pad. Okay, so I know some people don't have the number pad on their laptop. I don't know what to do there. I'm sure there's a way to get the copyright symbol. I'm sure if you look it up on Google, it'll tell you. But here on these computers, look at your key. The numpad is on the right side there. So click in this box where it says footer right there. So you could put your cursor in there, and you want to put the copyright symbol in there. So you're going to hold down 0169. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, Alt. You got to hold down Alt, I think. Alt 0169. There it goes. And then let your finger up off the Alt key.
Which is the Alt key?
The one that says Option, Alt. It's both Option and Alt. You
right.
see that? Hold that down and then hit 0169, and then let your finger up off the Alt key, and it should give you a copyright symbol. Do you guys see that? Okay, and then hit space, and then we're going to have, put your name in there.
What was it, 169 was it?
Yeah, 169. So hold the Alt key down, and then hit 0169 in the numpad. And let your finger up off the Alt key. And it should show up.
Apply to all.
Yeah, well, in a minute, we'll get there.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, and put your name next
I
to
can
it.
show it.
I'll put my name next to it.
Yeah. And of course the date, I'll teach you how to copyright things. We'll go to the copyright website, but then put the date, or the year, just the year. You don't have to put the date. So in the copyright symbol, this is the standard copyright symbol. Then you put your name, and then you put the date next to it. Okay, so you have slide number, automatically update, that'll put the date that you last saved your PowerPoint. And then don't show on title slide. Remember we talked about that? We don't want it on the first slide. So deselect that. Then, so make sure you deselect this, and then you say apply to all. And yes, now you'll have your beautiful slide number, your copyright info, the date, and of course it's not on the first slide. You guys all cool? See? See? Boy, you guys are we're moving fast today.
What was the number for?
Alt 0169 was for the copyright symbol. I know there's probably some other ways to get it as well. If you go to Google and type in copyright symbol, you can actually copy it from Google and just paste it. Or find it on the website and copy and paste it. It'll do the same thing. I'm sure you'll find that. Same with trademark symbols and things like that. You can find things and just go online and do them. The downfall of the trademark or the R symbol, right? What is the difference between the trademark symbol, the R symbol? Does anybody know?
I think it's what it protects necessarily.
The type of word maybe, or there. One of them's called a registered trademark, that's the R, and then there's a standard trademark for the TM. Some are registered, and I can't remember all the difference, but there is a difference between registered trademark and a TM. And my company has so many different ones. Sometimes the R is there, and sometimes I think the trademark has to do with specific words, and register is a word you use over and over again. I think that's what it is. Let me go look real quick. Let's look.
It is. It's like a phrase or a saying.
Yeah. So yeah, if you. So yeah, in certain products, like my product, see some have TM. Oops. See, this one has a TM, and this one has an R, because we use the word. I don't know. For some reason, some things are TMs and some things. So this one has a mix. Stud sensor is a word, but one step is an R. I have like 2 lawyers. They know what all that stuff means. That's all I know. That's what we have lawyers for. And we'll learn how to do a copyright, and we'll learn how to do a trademark, and we actually talk about that in class a little bit later, next week probably. Okay. But all right, you want to take a break? You want me to continue?
Continue.
Break. Let's take like 5 minutes. I need some water anyways. Let's take a short break. We'll come back and continue our PowerPoint. Let me stop my video. Okay, here we go. So again, remember, under Home you have New Slide. New Slide. And this time I'm going to go to To Content. The one that says To Content. The one that says To Content. So this is similar to the first one that we put on there. Remember there was a picture, but this one has both two boxes. Okay, so I'm going to put an image on one side and bullet points on the other. Okay, I like to put the images here and then the bullet points over here. So we're still talking about the Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to type in Pacific Ocean again up here. Then here, I'm going to put a picture over here. We're going to be talking about the fish that live in the Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to put a picture of fish over here. So I'm going to go and get my ocean fish.
What did you click on to get to there?
The one that says online picture.
And what's that under?
The one that looks like a little planet. Online picture. If you roll your cursor over, it says online picture. You see right here?
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then type in ocean. I'm gonna. Does it? Oh, here we go. Not a turtle. Oh, look, Nemo. Nemo.
Can I put a turtle even though it's not a fish?
How about a salmon? You put whatever you want. Salmon.
Is there a trunk fish?
Yeah, there is.
Where are we at here? Salmon. Let me get a salmon in there.
Want to get a PNG or?
Okay, there we go. So I got it, and then I'm gonna do bullet points on this side. So if you notice, you have text over here. Do you see the text here? So I'm gonna type in different fish names, and we're gonna animate them onto the screen. So salmon. What else do we have?
Donald Trumpet fish.
There's a Donald Trump fish. Salmon. What else do we have? Perch.
Swordfish.
Oh,
Perch. What do we have? Swordfish. Sword.
Halibut.
Sword. SOWRD. Is that sword?
no,
How do you spell sword?
SW.
Oh, SWORD. Swordfish.
Yeah.
What else? Bluefin tuna?
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. 4's enough. Once you learn how to animate, the rest are the same. Okay, so we want to come to this slide, and we want the presenter to show a fish, and then we're going to talk about the different fish. And so as the presenter's going, he's going to talk about each fish separately, so we want them to come sliding in, okay, animating onto the screen. To animate the slide onto the screen, you'll notice that you do have a animation option. It's called animation. It's all the way up here at the very top. So again, I have this selected. Notice how I have this text area still selected. If you come up here to where it says animation up here, you click on that, and so you need to decide how they're going to come in. This is like pop on, I guess, fly in. I like the one that says fly in. What that means is it's going to come in from a certain direction. You can change the direction right now. There's like a default direction. I'm going to click on the word fly in, and it'll then see them flying in from the bottom like that. I don't want them flying in from the bottom. I want them to fly in from this side. In addition to clicking on one of them, you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4 shows up. That's the order that they'll come in. I want them to come from the side. So after I hit fly in, you'll see there it says effects options right here. In the effects options, I can tell what direction I want them to come in from the right side. So they come in like this. See that? Again, so fly in, effects option, and you can change the direction that the bullets will come in. Okay, everybody cool with that? Okay, so now we have 3 slides. Let's add some transitions between them, and then we will test it. So we already have 3 slides. We have enough that we can test our project. Let's save our file before it crashes. I like to save before. So I'm going to go under File, Save As. I'm going to put this on my computer somewhere, wherever I want it to go. Where am I going? Desktop, maybe. And this is Oceans of the World. That's fine. So make sure you save it, because once you go to presenting, sometimes it might crash. I don't know. Weird things happen. And if it blows up, you don't want to have to start all over again from scratch. To do the transitions, I'm going to select my slides. And by holding the Shift key down and selecting all my slides over here. So again, you can hold the Shift key down and select all the slides. To do the transitions, there's a box that says transitions right here. See how it says transitions right there? Now, transitions are very, the default is like a little fade. But there's a whole bunch of them. You've probably seen them before. There's like the paper crushing and it throws it away. Did you see that one before? And then they get the Vornado or Tornado one. So they're all up here. There's a whole big list of them right here. If we click on the little arrow that's in the corner under transitions, you can see there's a whole bunch of them. There's the famous origami one. Curtains. And it might depend upon, what you want to do. Again, the fade is probably the most common. Wipes are very common as well. I kind of tend to like wipes. And wipe would be like that. Whenever you put transitions on your slides, you'll notice that this little thing shows up over here in the lower corner over there where it says animation. Or you'll see it over there. To test your presentation, you'll notice in the very upper corner up here, you'll see there's like a little presentation option up there. So if I click on that right here, it looks like a little presentation right there. It'll show up. It starts, there's my first slide. We got a beautiful kind of background there and so on. And then when I hit the arrow key on the keyboard, if you look down on the keyboard or you click the mouse, either one, either click the mouse or hit the arrow key on the keyboard, it'll go to the next slide. We have our beautiful people walking along the beach, Pacific Ocean, and we click the next slide. You'll notice we have our fish, and then we want our text of the fish to show up. We got to hit the arrow a couple more times. We can talk about salmon, perch, swordfish, and bluefin tuna. Makes me want to have lunch. Okay, you guys all got that? Transitions, animation, pictures. We've got our own graphic on there. Let's make a couple more slides. Again, one of the things you need to include in your final presentation is a table as well as a chart. I'm not going to do a chart today. We will make a table though, and then we're going to put a video in as well. So the 2 more things we're going to put into this presentation. One will be, of course, a table, and the other will be a video. So I'm going to say home. I'm going to go to home and say new slide. New slide right here. Again, home, new slide. And this time I'm going to just do title and content. Title and content. Again, we're still talking about the Pacific Ocean, so I'm going to give my title Pacific Ocean again. Now to make a table, you'll notice the first option inside our insert box down here is you'll see there is one that says insert table down there. It says insert table. If you click on that, it's going to ask you how many rows and columns. So in this case, we've already talked about fish, but we haven't talked about what we're going to talk about next.
Fish population.
What's that?
Fish population.
Maybe. Fish population's good, so we're going to have population. How about we have 5 rows and 3 columns. We can do population pretty like 1900 to the population today, which is probably, like none. So what did I just say? 3 columns and 5 rows, right? There we go. Let me hit OK. There we go. Now notice it kind of gives you a default theme here. What it's doing is it's pulling the colors that we used. Remember we used blue, so it's kind of pulling that blue and stuff through there. So you can put some chart across the top, and the first one will be like type of fish. And then this would be 1900 population. And this would be 2000 population. If you want to make more space, you can spread this out, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's put our fish in there. So here's a challenge, I would say, in this program. Being able to put images into a table is very difficult. Like, let's say I wanted to put a picture of a salmon in here. It doesn't work very easily to do that. They do have the ability to put a background picture in there, which sometimes works. But not really. So I'm just going to put the name in there. Salmon. What did we have? We had salmon. We had perch. We had swordfish, right? I think it was swordfish. And then we had a bluefin tuna. Bluefin. Fin? T-U-N-A. And so we could just put in some random numbers, how many salmon were in there. There's probably, 500 billion. And of course, today we're down to maybe 2 million. Just in California. I don't know. Just make up some numbers. Doesn't really matter. Nope. Randomly throw some numbers in there. And we'll learn how to format it a little bit better. There's only 30,000 perch left. Okay, so one of the things you can see right now is that everything is kind of aligned to the upper left corner of the tables, if you see that or notice it. But you can change, of course, the position and certain aspects of your table. To do that, you'll notice you do have different options up here. When you have your whole table selected, you have different options up here. You also can choose a different layout if you want. These are kind of pre-made ones up here. And there's a whole bunch of them. If you click here, you can go through all the different options here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful options here. Fabulous. Woo! Green. Oh no, I like the blue one better. Which one was I like that default one. What happened to that one? Oh, there we go. In addition, if you want to change certain aspects of it, if you come over here to where it says layout over here is where you can change certain aspects of your cells and so on. You can merge cells. You can insert a new one if you want. So let's say you wanted to add a new look to it. You can say insert left or insert below, where you can add a new row. You can split cells. You can combine cells. You can evenly distribute things. Here's the alignment features. If you want your text to be in the center, you would go this box. Again, I'm under layout right here. It's called under table tools, layout. This would be center. Oh, make sure you select all of them. I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to drag my mouse over all of them and hit center and then center here. and it centers everything. Again, I selected everything by putting my cursor and dragging over top of all of them, and I went from here to center and there to center. And of course there's some, we're not going to change the text direction, but you could have text go like this, or like that, or like that. Ooh, that's not very readable though, is it? So you can change that, and again you can merge cells, and so on and so on. If you want, you can have a picture behind your table if you want. If you remember, I'm going to click on the edge of my table again, the whole table, having it all selected. And if you go over here, if you wanted a picture, you can actually add a picture behind there, just like we were doing with the bar chart. If you remember doing the bar chart, I can add a picture. Ooh, that's a horrible texture. But I can add a file. And do we have any pictures of fish? Well, I got a koala bear. Oh, here's a jellyfish. There we go. We can add a jellyfish. Ooh, look at that. And we don't want to tile the picture. No. Where was I? Change the transparency. There we go. I don't know. But there is the ability to put a picture. That doesn't look really good, does it? Now, I'm going to go back to my no-fill. I'm going to go back to, oh, solid color maybe. Oh, I lost my formatting. Okay, that was no good. I'm going to go back to my design and go back to one of my defaults. There we go. That one's better. I just wanted to show you could put a picture back there. It's not very easy to deal with pictures and things. Okay, one of the things that did not come over when I made a new slide is the actual transitions. If you look over here, I don't have a little star over here. See how this one, number 3, has a little star, but underneath the number 4 over here, there's no star. The reason why is the transition did not come over. When you say new slide, it doesn't automatically make it. Now, if you duplicated a slide, the transition would actually come over. But if you just said new slide, the transition. So to add the transition is when you're going into a slide. So right now, all I have to do is have this one selected. I can go to my transition, and then I can go to my, what was I doing, wipe, I think? Yeah, something like that. Okay, so again, I selected it and went to my transition. If you don't want the transition at the very first one, you'll notice when we did our test, if you notice when I started from beginning right here, if I do my little test, notice it's black and then it shows up. Maybe you don't like that transition at the beginning. Hit escape. When your presentation is running and you want to stop it running, you hit escape on the keyboard. So if you don't want the transition at the very beginning, you can say none. And so I clicked on the first slide and said none, so that it doesn't start with black, and if you test your trends, it starts with your slide. Some people don't want to see black at the very beginning, so you don't need a transition at the very beginning, and then boom, 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 boom. And again, hit escape to stop your presentation on the keyboard. Okay, we're going to make 1 or 2 more slides, don't worry. Okay. So, of course, wouldn't it be great if we could play a video in our presentation? So we're going to add a video to our presentation. Again, I'm going to make a new slide by going under Home, New, and I'm going to go Title and Content. This one, Title and Content. And this time, again, we're still doing Pacific Ocean. And then we're going to add a video. To add a video, of course, you can add a video from YouTube is the easiest way. Vimeo is very difficult. If you try, you can embed one from your hard drive, but of course it has to, if you embed one from your hard drive, it has to go along with your presentation forever. And of course, doing an online one like YouTube, that is sometimes bad because you have to be connected all the time. Now, I know we're all pretty much connected all the time, but just keep that in mind. If you use a YouTube video, you got to be connected. To put the YouTube video in, you'll notice right here in this box, in the insert box down here, it says insert video. If you look there, you can click on insert video. It'll actually go and ask you to search on YouTube. So you can actually go and search YouTube if you would like. and we're gonna type in Pacific Ocean. And of course, you're gonna see all kinds of beautiful videos. Ooh, I like the shark one. Eating it. Look at that. It's a shark one eating a sailboat. Look at that one. Facts I didn't know about the Pacific Ocean. No. Or this one's probably pretty good, the National Geographic one. And look at the size as you roll over. This one actually gave me a size. This is 720p. Right? You all know the video sizes, right? Okay. How big is high definition video again? I told you already once. What is it?
1080p.
Yeah, 1080. What's the dimensions though? 1080p is the height. What's the width? 1920. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, 1920 by 1080 is high definition. Now this one 720 is an old version of high definition. When high definition first came out back in the late 90s, I would say, early 2000s, there was a company, JVC. They make video cameras, and they made like kind of the first high definition video cameras, and they were 1280 by 720. So that's what the size of this one is, because when you roll over it says 720p. It was 20. So there was like the low version. Then you could buy a video camera at the medium version of high definition, which was 1440 by 1080. And then of course the high definition is 1920 by 1080. So at one time there was like 3 different sizes of high definition. Most of them now are 1920 by 1080. So I don't know, it doesn't sort of tell you what size they are, does it? No, not really. This one looks fun though. What's that?
I think it was just the title that said 720.
Yeah. So I'm going to choose the Jaws one just because it looks fun. Oh, it's awful small though. You can scale your video up. If you want to see the video and see if it's something you want to use, you can actually play the slide somewhere in here. Oh, where's the play button? Under playback, I think this plays it. Does it play it? Yeah. It was playback right here, and then I went to play right there so we can watch it without having whoosh. Sorry.
Actually, didn't know about the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, this is pretty bad. Oh yeah, this is pretty bad.
It's just music, out of curiosity.
It's probably built into iMovie. That's
Oh, okay.
that's like a default iMovie song.
I've heard like that song over and over.
Yeah, it's because it's a default iMovie song. Okay, this was a bad video. I don't want to use this one. Let's go back to whatever. How do I get rid of it? How about we delete it? There we go. Hit the delete key, and then I'll click here. Let's use a different one. What is it? This Galapagos one I know is good. I'm gonna go with that one. Gotta love the, what is it, the iguana or a lizard? What is this guy?
Iguana.
Iguana, yeah.
It's a long video. It's like 45 minutes.
It is. Oh,
National Geographic.
okay. I tell you, one of my students used to work at National Geographic. He did the Drug Inc. Anybody see that TV show? He was the cameraman for Drug Inc. He said it was a little scary because he had to go and film, all these drug lords and all these gangsters, with their masks on and their guns in their. They would say he would interview them with, like shotguns in their hands. Yeah. He came to visit me last week. He was oh, you changed my life. That's cool. It's cool.
In a remote corner of the South
Well, this
Pacific,
one's not very good either.
National Geographic explorer Enric Saller leads an elite team into a hidden world
It starts
in
at
search of an
360.
underwater
You go
Eden.
to settings, you can have to 720.
Yeah.
In a remote
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so that was kind of cool. You can put your video in right from YouTube, right into PowerPoint. Okay. So let's do one more thing and then we'll end the day. Let's talk about adding sound. And let's add sound throughout the whole presentation. So maybe you want to have wave sounds going slowly in the background. So of course we need to find a wave sound. Where do you think I'm going to find my wave sound at?
Online.
YouTube?
No.
Sound? SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, sure. How about archive.org? My favorite website. Remember that one, right? So if we go to our internet here, if we can get that going there, we can go to archive. I'm going to go to archive. Oops. .org. And I'm going to put in crashing waves or wave sounds. Ocean wave sounds. Ocean wave sounds. And I'm sure we can find some somewhere. Oops. These aren't very good. That one's not very good. Ordinary sounds of the sea?
We think sounds are about the best way of communicating.
Okay, that guy's talking. That's not going to help. Sounds of the Mediterranean? That's a little long. I just want to. Heartbeat the ocean of stress?
5 minutes of loud ocean waves crashing.
Where's that?
South. A bit beneath district regional, I don't know. It's pretty hard.
Okay, this one's fine. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, that sounds more like a toilet than the ocean, but
How do you insert it in there?
so I'm going to save this sound. So of course you need to save your sound. I'm going to download an MP3 right here. Look, I got an MP3 right here.
Where did you get that from?
Archive.org.
No, but where does it say to save it?
I'm going to go down here, scroll down, and then you have your different options here.
Oh, yeah, download option.
Then I'm going to go MP3. I'm going to save it. Oh, no, don't right-click on there and save it. Right-click, save link as. Right-click, save link as. So if you're on archive.org, you can right-click, save link as. And I'm going to go to my desktop, put my sound on there. Okay, so if you want to try sounds, go and find a sound file. And I'm going to have my sound go throughout my presentation. To put my sound throughout my presentation, inside the presentation, I'm going to deselect